morning, Christ Church. And we are in the book of 2 Samuel. And as we turn our attention to 2 Samuel chapter 11, we see that David has fought many battles. He's won many of these wars as well, and the kingdom is established. And it reads as follows as we open up in verse 11. It says, "In the spring, the time when kings go off to war, David sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. They destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained in Jerusalem. One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around the roof of the palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. The woman was very beautiful." And we know from the account of Scripture that this is the time when David sins with Bathsheba and all sorts of things happen. What I want to draw your attention to is, in the midst of David's victories, the Bible tells us that there was a time when the kings go out to war. But instead of David going off to war, he actually sends his men with somebody else and he stays behind. My question to you, do you respond well when things go well, or do you only respond well when things go badly? It sounds like a strange question. But sometimes we are more faithful to God in our struggles and our seasons of struggles than we are in our seasons of victory. I sometimes think to myself, do we respond better? Are we more dependent upon God? Are we more prone to be obedient and to follow God's ways when we find ourselves struggling in life? And I think it's true. The hardest time to follow God is when you are doing well. We see here David, instead of celebrating the victories of God, being obedient to the thing he should be doing, going off to war, as was the tradition, going out, taking his men, leading his men out, he stays behind, puts himself in a compromising position, and things go horribly wrong. Let me leave you with this challenging question. Where do you find yourself right now? Maybe you're in a hard time and you're finding that you're holding on to God and you're clinging to God and believing God for breakthrough in your life. That's a great place to be. It can be a difficult place to be, but it's in times like that that often we find the presence, the closeness, and the nearness of God in our lives. Maybe you're in a place of victory. Things have gone well for you, and you can sit back and look back and say, look what I've done. Look what I've accomplished. That can be a very dangerous place. We should always keep our hearts humble, keep our hearts just bowed before God, listening to what He's saying and being obedient to Him in all things. Be blessed. Have a great week.